Hi, Mike Serra here from Customer States. If you're searching for the highest quality additives, lubricants, or cleaners for your automotive, heavy equipment, agricultural, or industrial machinery needs, look no further than the Justice Brothers line of products. From lubing your chainsaw, performing a complete fuel system treatment and decarb service on a customer's vehicle, keeping that forklift forking and lifting, or just need a can of that famous JB80 penetrant to persuade a rusty bolt, Justice Brothers has you covered. Travis Ferris of Hit Distributing is not only Southern California's authorized Justice Brothers distributor, but also a great friend of mine. Over the years, Travis has helped me and my dealership with anything and everything we need, including all the lines of Justice Brothers products and even equipment to perform the various services we may need for our specific application. HIT stands for honesty, integrity, and trust, so you know when you contact Travis, that's exactly what you'll get. That, combined with Justice Brothers supplying superior quality automotive products since the 1940s and 75 years in the racing industry, you will have absolutely everything at your disposal to get the job done. Justice Brothers is proudly made in the USA, and they have a satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Justice Brothers has the best quality products over any other competitor, and they'll gladly tell you that themselves. If you live in the Southern California area, call my man Travis Ferris at 805-208-7818. And if you don't, call him anyway and tell him I said thanks. And visit justicebrothers.com to learn more about their complete line of products. Justice Brothers, America's brand for quality.
Yeehaw, motherfuckers! What's up, bitches?
Hi, motherfuckers.
What's up?
Howdy, everybody.
What's up, bitches?
How are y'all?
What's up, fuckers?
I'm sorry. What's up, fuckers?
There it is, that endearing opening line.
How is everybody? How are you, Allie, Eric, Michael?
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I'm happy we're all here again.
I have a bitch crawling on my lap.
You do.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'll get off.
Technically speaking.
I'll get off.
So,
you will.
welcome back to the podcast.
What podcast?
We're all here. What podcast,
What
indeed?
podcast?
Which one?
But we have to. It's Customer States, but I'm thirsty.
Okay, fine.
Jesus Christ!
Damn, girl. Oh my God. Allie was ready to come.
We'll go. Do not come.
Do not come.
Do not come.
Ooh, this is going to be delicious.
Why did somebody give me a surge? Ugh.
I don't like them either.
Fuck yeah. I have the best one. Strawberry hibiscus.
Oh, can I taste it?
Suck that.
I want to suck your
Suck.
hibiscus.
Suck
Suck
my
it.
hibiscus.
Suck my can.
Oh boy. Technically, I'm the can.
Yeah, you
But all right. Anyways,
Is that delicious or what?
it's probably.
I don't know.
Really? Oh my God, you have no taste buds. You must have COVID. Hi, Jake.
Hi, everybody. So,
Do you smell that?
Allie.
Me neither.
Allie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking?
All right. Anyways, I'm Jake.
So what I
Reiches.
was gonna say was,
I'm talking. Is that a T-shirt yet? So I'm Jake Reiches. I'm a
Pretty
service
sure it is.
advisor. I got my first I got my first raise paycheck yesterday. So that was very nice. So I am now up another step in the ladder. So yeah. So here I am. And
congratulations.
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 And
What I say?
Yes,
yes. And to my left is Michael.
Mikey boy.
It's Michael.
Hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, everybody.
Say hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey. Mike Serra, Senior Master Technician, Shop Foreman, Transmission Technician. To my left,
Master.
To my left is Eric
You're submissive.
Montenegro.
That is me.
Madam Montenegro.
Madam Montenegro.
I do enjoy that.
Tisai.
Madame.
What, you being the master and me being your submissive?
Also, yes.
I'm here for it.
Okay, I think we shouldn't be here for it. Maybe Jake and I should leave.
I don't mind
Customer
an
States
audience.
after hours.
Yes, we don't mind audiences. Heavy line tech for Ford Motor Company. 4.5 years.
Indeed.
Wow.
And to my left is the absolutely fan-fucking fabulous
Fan fucking fabulous.
Allie Paul.
I love it.
Me and you did the same thing. Fan fucking fabulous.
It's very good. It's very good.
It
Thank
was
you.
very good. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Absolutely.
I am
Hey, Allie, by the way, how was your... How's that feel? I feel good?
Oh my God, Jake.
actually...
Spit on it first next time, Jake. God.
Actually, I felt nothing because I'm extremely used to it.
Wow. What are we talking about?
The interruptions.
Yep.
I am me.
Oh, wait,
I am
hold
a
on.
warranty administrator. I administrate warranties, and I professionally have men talk over me all the time. So that's great.
And some women.
I've been doing, and
What?
some women watch it on my OnlyFans. No kidding.
Yep, she's starting one, guys. Come on, gotta pay
Eric
those
wants
bills.
me to do an OnlyFans.
Eric
so
wants
bad.
her to do it. Eric thinks she could make a fuck ton of money.
I'm gonna wear like a horse mask or something.
Do it, girl.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Horse mask.
Mask.
Ever heard of puppy play?
Yeah, I have. I don't know about
We can
that.
get
All
you a
right,
puppy
all right,
mask.
all right, all right.
It's just a mask. It's just a mask. We can get you
Yes,
a puppy
we're gonna
mask.
lose
No,
some
it's a
people if
whole
we
thing.
continue
It
this
is a whole
conversation.
thing.
Anyway,
I have the harness.
Dale, don't Google that.
I mean, it's not always triple X.
well,
Okay, well,
Time for
I've
a
heard
crusade.
of it only in Triple X.
So podcast.
It seems
This
like
is
it's
the podcast, Michael.
You know,
This
videos
is what
like
the
that.
people crave.
Videos like that are worth about $6,000 if you ask me.
Well, what
They
what,
can be.
You know what you think
Until
it's
you're
worth
debited on it.
is
Yeah.
not actually what it's worth, and sometimes you get debited your worth.
This was a really hard transition here for us. We're doing our best, but that brings us to our first topic that Ali wants to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about
What?
just a little $6,000 chargeback from the factory.
Really?
Nothing is fucked here.
Realistically speaking,
fucked.
that is kind of small when you think
So-
about it.
I've seen
don't
I've seen
know.
higher ones for sure.
I've
but
heard
it's-
of higher ones.
Real quick, can I dovetail off that? You know what
Yes.
Ford does when we fuck up? If they find something missing in the paperwork or it's wrong, they charge it back not once, not times 2. They charge it back times 10.
Why?
Because their theory is that if you have one that's fucked up like that, there's 10 others in the stacks that are also fucked up like that.
Yep.
You know what?
So they prorate it.
So if you have a
yes.
$10,000 fuck up that they're going to charge back, they're charging back $100,000 to the dealership.
Which is why it's super important that you don't do anything bad.
yeah.
Fud.
Yeah, you think $6,000 is bad, girl.
doesn't seem so important out there, does it, bud?
Okay, so let's like take it back a little bit. So I have the whole thing going on with our Volkswagen reimbursed loaners for vehicles that have like
Parts
super
on back order,
Kamehameha back
the turbos
orders.
and the heads and all that shit.
Yeah, wire harnesses
Intergalactic
are coming
back order.
from Germany and stuff. So it's
And some of the wiring harnesses for Mazda come from Ukraine.
oh no.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yes.
Gosh, that sucks.
Unfortunately. Anyways, continue.
So
What?
I am so easily distracted. You need to stop doing that.
Squirrel. Yeah, I was gonna squirrel.
So, so we have a budget of our rental allowance that we're allowed to have. Well, we blew the fucking lid off of that budget, and we knew it was going to happen at some
Yeah.
point. It's been going on this way for months and months and months. I think I've talked about it before. How
Is that a monthly budget?
It was a weekly budget and getting replenished, and then they switched to the monthly budget replenishment. So at that point, I was like, okay, they're about to actually enforce it now
What's
because it's
this-
supposed to be a quarterly budget.
What's this time frame we're talking about here that you're being charged back for?
So what has happened? The chargeback is this: we extended our budget by $46,000.
Oh my God.
And we weren't the only dealership that did this. So they did like a special exception for anything before June 27th. We were allowed to submit and do like a oopsie.
Yeah.
And now you're starting over. Now we only get $10,000 of rental budget for Q3 of this year. So it'll start over in September.
Yeah, but that's
So-
still not.
So basically all your rentals are wiped out from now till then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are paying for the rentals.
But we have loaners. We have a whole fleet of loaners, 13 loaners.
That's
so
convenient.
It doesn't go as far as we think it could, but
It helps.
it helps a lot. And it's a tool there, so that way you don't have to have a loaner out for 6 months or 3 months or however long the part is back ordered. You just put the customer in a rental until your next loaner is available, and we were not doing that.
That makes sense.
And that's why we blew through our budget. And I told everyone, like, hey, the grace period is going to be over soon. Like,
yeah.
if we're spending this much as like a medium-sized dealer, can you imagine what like the huge dealers are spending
Yeah.
that already have, a 35 vehicle rental or loaner fleet?
Yeah.
So I was able, with that special exception, to recoup $40,000.
That's amazing. Well done.
Yeah.
I'd
So
give you applause, but
just
my
a
hands are
little-
full.
When you
little baby $6,000 budget, and there is so much politics that has gone on to this.
hey, when you talk to the boss tomorrow, you should bring that up.
Oh, they know.
But you should bring it up again when you say, "What's my worth to you?"
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to give it all away on this podcast in case someday
She wants
someone
to save
decides
some
to
for
listen
next
to it.
time.
But and
She's edging.
oh, what's that mean?
You don't know what edging is?
Is it like when you almost,
Yes.
almost?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you stop.
When you almost,
then you stop.
When you almost.
Man, my
then you
throat is
stop.
like super sore right now.
And then you
Are
go
you-
again.
We're ignoring you, Michael. Oh my God.
so anyways,
It's
that whole thing has been an ongoing issue, has been, months and months and months in the making. I've been warning, and people choose not to listen. And one person in particular is so upset about the $6,000 that we lost. They're like, I don't want to give out any rentals or any loaners. Like, we're just going to scrap the whole program. And it's totally bullshit. He would never scrap the whole loaner
Yeah, that
program
seems- yeah.
because it's a huge thing of goodwill. And it was something that at one point we
Goodwill.
promised customers. We promised if you bought your car here, we would give you a loaner.
Right.
So, or a rental or whatever.
which shouldn't be promised anyways.
We're in a different situation now.
shouldn't
I think
be-
that
it shouldn't be
allowances
promised.
If the
need
dealership
to
is
be
profitable enough, you
made.
can afford that. If
Yes.
it's not profitable enough, you can't afford it.
Well,
And
maybe
that's
because
part
of
the
some
problem.
people, we would be more profitable.
Yeah,
but
Jake.
no,
I'm in control.
Hashtag
no,
sell
that
it.
wasn't directed
Hashtag
towards
sell it
Jake. That was directed
it's
to
not.
someone else.
What I mean by you shouldn't promise them is there's nothing wrong with, having the loaner program and all that, but you set yourself up for failure at a dealership at our size when you tell those people, it's like, hey, if you get the car here, we promise we'll have a loaner for you if you need it. Well, the problem is it isn't always available. And then when those people show up, and because of the intergalactic back orders, and you go, I'm sorry what you were promised, but we can't, go through with our fucking promise, and then you're already starting off on a bad foot.
It's a horrible situation in the first place.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my God, I'm so lost right now. We never did our timer.
That's okay. Mike's got a timer.
Yeah, I've got it.
I know, but I was just like, what
Listen for the keys.
so,
Unlock.
Yaves.
I just think that some people are just really uninformed when it comes to loaner programs,
So
Yeah, all you customers out there, you dumbasses.
Coming for an oil change.
Oh my
Do you
gosh,
have a
I have
loaner?
a topic that
Fuck
came up.
That is honestly
say
something.
your topic right now.
Wait, before you do, that is something that I wish was a rule that was in place.
Yeah.
You don't get a loaner just because I'm here for a fucking oil change. Can I have a complimentary vehicle?
Well, I think that the
not
strategy
done
should
bitching.
be-
Not done bitching. This is very severe for me. Because
Okay,
I have
and
to.
me
no,
now.
no. Because I have to deal with
Okay,
this.
go on.
And then when they come in and they go, can I have a fucking oil change? And we ask them, well, where do you live? Oh, I just live 2-minute walking distance down the street. Fuck you, I'll get you an Uber, you fat bitch.
Or walk.
Use your Chevrolegs.
I think, and we've had
Super
this
good.
conversation.
Thank you.
Really good.
We've had this conversation within management before, between warranty and management and GM, that, or owner, or however you want to
Right.
go about it.
Right.
That
Make sure not to mention any names this time.
I know, you guys, I did a oopsie.
You'd never know
Last
because
one.
Michael is a god.
He's an amazing. Can we thank?
No.
Can we thank?
Thank you, Mike.
No, it's okay.
Thank you, Mike. You too, Eric.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mike.
That's okay. Thank you guys are
I'll
welcome.
thank you later.
In a time and a place.
For those of those of you that aren't watching the podcast, Eric just winked super friggin' hard at me.
Both eyes.
Well, no, that's not a wink. That's an eye close.
That's a blink.
He winked. He winked at me.
In a time and a place with redheaded dumbasses, Mike's there to save the day.
It's orange. Okay. Anyways.
Eric, are you taking pictures of me right now?
Definitely not.
No, he's texting.
No, I'm
someone.
not. See,
So I think that the strategy needs to be that you don't mention it right off the bat. Because a customer probably
Will say
maybe,
yes.
Sometimes people plan ahead.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
But it
What
happens.
fantasy world do you
Sometimes
live in?
They do.
No, they don't.
Sometimes they do.
No, they don't.
Okay, like someone that I work with recently had a customer and he just didn't offer it. And he's like, "Oh, should I offer a loan or a rental?" I was like, "Did they ask for one?"
Then don't.
He said no.
Then
I was like,
don't.
then
You're done.
that's the strategy right there.
Yeah.
If
Don't-
they don't ask,
then no.
don't provide.
Yep.
Like you're creating more of a problem because it really is an issue right now. And on top of it, like we have certain vehicles that we get paid back for Volkswagen for.
Yeah.
But some of the vehicles in our loaner fleet are just vehicles that we have to
Use cars.
offset our rental
Right.
bills from outside companies.
Well, customers need to understand this too. Like me, you know,
And
I
I think customers can be the right customer can be understanding.
No,
sometimes.
absolutely. I try to be that customer. I took my car in for service today over at Lexus, and Lexus they'll give you a loaner.
How many
for
lines was on the
3. It was only 3 concerns.
How do you spell Lexus with a T?
I don't know.
Lexus?
No.
Letus?
No. Like
Lettuce?
Texas.
no. Like Toyota. How do you spell Lexus with a T?
I'm moving on.
Really, Jacob?
It's a
sorry,
fancy
dude.
Toyota.
Really, Jacob?
Toyota.
Fuck all of you. Fuck you. I work hard for my car. I love
I
my car.
like that car.
Yeah, and you.
I like Lexus too. They're really sweet cars, but it's a fucking
Overpaid.
Toyota.
Okay, but
Back to the point that I
okay.
was getting was they
Go
do.
on.
I'm
they,
talking.
They have. I'm
Fucking
speaking.
hate
I'm
it.
speaking.
Your balls a tug tit fucker.
Eric, you have the floor.
Oh, thank you. They have a fleet of Lexus has a fleet of vehicles. They're like 30 or 40 cars.
Right, which
and
is-
they give them out for anything and everything, even if it is an oil change, as long as it's scheduled ahead of time. And you know, that's fine.
Do we have the rights to that?
I brought
It was
it in.
only a couple seconds. That said, let me know the Cubs are playing right now. So
I brought it in for minor things.
Okay,
right?
wait, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Hang on. Mike made sure to let us
All of
all
us
know
phones
to
were
put
on
our
silent.
phones on silent.
my phone is on silent. My watch is on silent. This is
So
an
where
alarm.
did it come from?
Yeah, the alarms,
The alarms
override
will
it.
always override the silent feature.
Well, you should have known.
I forgot that I didn't forget the Cubs are playing right now, but I forgot that I set alarm for it. So.
Okay. Okay.
Go Cubs.
So you took it into service.
Go Dodgers. I did take it into service for just a couple minor things.
Something's getting edited.
He's kidding. And granted, I work next door, but they asked me if I need it. I'm like, no. I'm like, if you guys get it done today, great. You know, as long as I have it by the end of the day. If not, then yeah, I'll need a car to get home. But you know, people don't understand that. Like, if you don't need it right now, why am I going to take a loaner to drive next door and park it for it to sit there all goddamn
Yeah.
when
day?
somebody else can use it.
And people, you know, who are doing the same thing, drop your car off for the day, and you're going to work to go park it. If they offer you rides, then take the fucking ride.
Oh my God. Can we talk about our local prize rental agency?
Car rental agency.
Yes.
Starts with an E or an F.
No, no,
just
no.
not gonna
I
get
already
specific.
gave you a hint. If you can't figure it out, you can't
It's a
figure
car
it
rental
out.
agency. What more do you want to know?
It's
starts with an E?
It's a prize.
Well, there's only a
Jacob,
handful of them out there that start with an E. It
it's
doesn't matter.
a prize-winning rental agency.
It doesn't matter. It's a rental agency.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
I didn't, but go on.
It's a
it's fine.
play
It
on
doesn't matter.
words.
So
Prize
Oh, I
Oh my
got
God.
it.
Everyone
too.
knows now.
I'm pretty.
Well, the vagueness just went right out the fucking window.
We
Because
did
I'm
not
pretty.
state anything. In a court of law, there was nothing stated.
Jesus Christ. No one's
So-
going to come fucking.
I know.
Go on with the story.
Volkswagen has a contract with this company.
Yeah.
So they will only charge us a certain rate.
Right.
And this specific local agency refuses to abide by the company agreed policy.
They do the same thing with us, and that's why we don't do business with them anymore.
Same thing with us. That's why we don't do business with them anymore. On
No,
Mazda.
There's
Shout out
another,
to Midway.
Okay. Well, I wasn't
What
going
the
to name
fuck
them.
ever. Whatever.
Anyways, they are like a dream to work with. If you need
Yeah.
an invoice or something, oh my God.
They're fantastic.
Chef's
Yeah.
kiss.
Nope. Same
Super wonderful.
with us, too. We love working with them. They're fucking fantastic.
We talking Midway, right?
Yeah, Midway is great.
Midway is.
Hey guys, this episode is sponsored by Midway.
I
Midway, get at me.
yeah, for reals. I fucking wish. Those guys came in clutch when we went on that trip with Mike and
Oh
Kevin.
my God. Yeah, we got the Jeep from there.
They're pretty
Those
good.
guys are awesome, especially because I'm like, hey, I need the insurance. They're like, hey, what are you planning on doing? I'm like, can I be honest with you? Like, of course you can.
Does it matter?
Yeah, like, of course you can. It's like, oh, I'm taking this thing and ripping it through the Mojave. They're like, that's fucking sick. I'm like, I love this place.
Yeah, they're great.
Chip the windshield.
They took care of me,
Nope.
too.
No, you chipped my windshield.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right.
Well, no. My windshield was chipped because I was falling too close after coming off of a trail. My fault.
But moving on,
My truck's too high for that.
we have uninformed answers that I really need to hear, and Mikey needs to vent.
We need to be informed.
Because venting is good for the soul, and Mikey needs some soul food.
Just crack it a little bit. Get it? Vent.
I was like looking for my drink.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
It's like through osmosis. I hang out with her too much, and my brain cells die.
There isn't a
what?
thought behind those eyes.
It was
Bless
a single
your
ding.
heart.
It was a single ding, Allie.
Hey, Allie.
We love that for you.
I have to tell you something about.
You know I make fun of you, but I would kill somebody for you. You know that.
But not really. Allegedly.
Are you guys
Allegedly.
married?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Common law.
I have the greatest
I
wife
gave
on
Jake an
planet Earth.
ultimatum recently.
Oh, I thought you were
was
just
that?
going to say something else, but yeah.
I said we had to get married by 2023.
Or
No,
Like, no,
2024.
2024. You went 3.
you did say
Yeah, sorry, 2.5.
Years? What?
2.5. But no, in the
Well,
wait,
like,
Allie,
I
listen.
would like for it to be sooner, but that is the last chance.
you're being a reasonable woman.
Yeah.
That
I
is-
mean, we're incurring
Jake.
a lot of expenses right now.
Take care of that.
Over the
and
air-
Eric,
over
what do you
the-
know about being a reasonable woman?
I like to think I'm a reasonable woman.
Over the airwaves,
Reasonable, but fair.
here live, Allie is the best wife on earth.
Thank you. Sorry to all the other wives out there.
That's beautiful.
Thank you guys.
That wasn't the best one, but it was just
That's
the only thing that I
all
had right
Fair
there.
Oh,
enough.
what about makes me want a hot dog real bad?
No, it's not on this one.
So
I wanna get informed.
Uninformed answers. Spill your beans.
Okay, so
cool ones.
I'm going to try and keep this as discreet as possible for a number of reasons, but we had an issue with a vehicle at our shop, and a technician's working on a vehicle and says that the component that broke is not...
Oh my god!
Hold on.
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
let you, but I'm just this
Just fucking give me a second,
fucking
please.
turns the heat on high with a steam kettle with a lid. And, this does so much. Go on. I apologize.
I'm gonna try and retain my cool as I re-describe the story.
Can you do me a favor
difficult.
and
So- yes.
allow slight bit of uncool for this because it adds to the whole factor? I just
we
said a
can.
slight bit of uncool.
No,
what
it's
we
like once you
can,
open
but-
it, it's like,
Well, are
God.
there more beers in that fridge?
We're
'Cause
gonna
that-
need some
You know there's
because
more beers in that
all
fridge.
the emotions
Oh, yeah, I
for
bought
this
them.
fucking story.
Okay.
I am involved in it. That's why I'm so emotional.
oh, okay.
It's a really bad to preface the whole thing. It's a normal repair that didn't have to go this sideways, but for a number of reasons it didn't have to go this sideways. Hashtag to the about. And it didn't have to go this way if there weren't so many insignificant seeming mistakes that happened along the way.
Okay.
But all of those mistakes led up to multiple big
Can I ask what
problems.
the repair
Snowball
was?
effect.
If not, it's fine.
The vehicle came in for a rattle noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair
noise
enough.
concern.
There you go.
Noise concern.
Fair enough.
So the technician gets the vehicle and diagnoses the vehicle and says that it's this part.
Okay.
And according to Ford Motor Company, this part isn't covered under the powertrain warranty.
Okay.
Which, in all honesty, I think is bullshit.
It should.
It's fucking bullshit.
I'm
It
gonna
is
ring this bell until I break
fucking
it.
bullshit.
It should
We
be.
can say that
This is the raw energy I wanted from
we
this.
can say it's an internal engine component that failed,
Okay.
causing catastrophic damage, but it's not a covered powertrain component.
It should.
How does that make any
It
fucking
should
made a powertrain
100% be
component
covered.
It's inside the
It should
engine.
100% be covered. Okay.
No.
Hold on.
No, but
Stop it.
the point is that it's inside the engine. Why
Okay.
would that not be covered under powertrain?
Right.
Volkswagen would cover that.
What the fuck?
Mazda would cover that.
It's bullshit. Yeah, I'm with Mikey on this frustration. He's so frustrated right now because it's, oh my God.
Was this a technician that you guys respect?
To a point.
I do respect him.
I guess respect is the wrong way. Does he fall
It's-
under?
it-
Does
so-
he fall under homie category?
It's not the technician's fault. This component physically broke, and that's the only broken thing that could lead to these sort of failures.
Fair enough. Okay.
And that component is not covered. Again, I don't want to get any more specific than that.
That's fine.
However,
Why did it break?
the unfortunate thing is that
Eric is
this-
fucking ticked too. He's got that face like, I swear to God, I'm going to jump over this.
We have to move forward.
so the unfortunate thing is that, you know, normally, yes, I'm always fighting for the customer and stuff like that. But I was never informed of this until, you know, 5 minutes before I was supposed to be meeting with this customer, because as a shop foreman, I'm supposed to talk to him and explain and massage why his
And he's a
vehicle-
good customer. He only services with us. He bought the
Gotcha.
truck from us.
Yes,
He's bought multiple
yes,
vehicles
yes,
from
yes.
us.
Yeah.
He's a great customer.
So, and it turns out that I know this guy, but I'm coming into this super blind. You know, I have like 5 minutes of prep time to like look at what's going on.
Talk to the parties involved, et cetera, et cetera.
And there's a lot of hands in this. So,
Too much chiefs, not enough chieftains.
well, yeah, that's very good. As Norseman? Norseman?
Horseman.
Yeah, the show on Netflix. Anyway, so we have this issue that this one component isn't covered, but everything else that could have potentially caused this
Is
problem
covered.
is covered.
Okay.
Let me say something. In our profession, you, with experience, time comes with experience. With experience, you learn the vehicles
Experience
that
comes with time.
you learn the vehicles that you work on. You learn how they operate. You learn the common failure points. You learn everything about these vehicles so well that when something does fail, you're like, oh, well, that failed because of this, or this caused that to happen. And you really have to put your head into it and think about it sometimes and understand this vehicle or this engine and how it works and what could have potentially caused that to happen. That being said, not all technicians are like that.
Sure.
There are some technicians, you have parts replacers, you know, at the quick lube chain stores that are just absolute shit. Then you have other people who kind of get it and they're like, okay, well, yeah, this failed, but I know there's going to be potentially more damage. I should probably check this too, et cetera, et cetera. And they know to look into things further. And then there have technicians, I'm going to toot my own fucking horn here, toot, toot, hashtag sell the bell, like
toot.
me and Mikey,
Right.
that go even a step further. And we want to understand why did that happen? You have to be able to, and it goes back to the roots of your job. You have to be able to explain to the manufacturer, well, this component failed. Well, why did that component fail? That component failed because this failed. Well, why did that fail? Oh, it turns out, you know,
I'm so happy right now.
I love the 3 C's.
You know, it turns out that
Have you
there was
noticed?
an oil starvation issue because the pickup tube was clogged because the timing chains had too much slack in it and caused components to fall into the oil pan and plug up the oil tube. and starved the engine of oil, and now we have oil starvation and metal debris everywhere. Okay, you have to get to the root cause of failure here, and you have to understand these engines and how they operate.
I was like this.
So the whole point of all of
so
this
turned
was
on right now.
the whole point of all this was to give you an understanding of how there are different kinds of technicians, and this technician is in a different category than other technicians. Not to say that he's a bad technician at all. I'm not saying this technician's bad. I'm not bad mouthing him whatsoever. It's just the mentality isn't there to understand things at the level they need to be understood for this repair.
So I don't even think that you know about what this topic was originally about, because you were talking about the next thing that I was going to do, which is great because we covered that already.
It all segues.
But the biggest issue was that the customer that I was talking to, that's my personal friend, contacted another Ford dealership, just some random Ford dealership, and asked if these certain components would be replaced, and gave his VIN number and all this kind of stuff. And the dealership said, yeah, absolutely. All of the timing components, or whatever, components, the engine components and the internal components, should be, covered under your powertrain warranty. However, because the customer did not know what the basic part number was for the causal part.
It's very vague conversation we had with them.
The service manager from that dealership didn't know what the basic part number was.
How to run coverage.
How to run parts coverage on it. The person that the customer called at that dealership gave the customer wrong information.
Yes.
And so now the customer's coming back at me
What
saying,
the fuck?
why isn't this covered? And so I had to literally send a picture of the parts coverage form saying, listen, I understand that you gave this person this information, but without telling, and I asked him, like, well, what basic part number did you give him for the, the failure? Because there's 17 different components for this thing that could cause this. There's one that failed that caused all these things. What number did you give them? Oh, well, I just gave them the VIN number. Like, okay, yes, I understand.
It runs
that,
much deeper than
but
that.
it runs much deeper than that. And the person that you contacted the dealership should have known that before they gave you a wrong answer. And so the whole basis of this was, if you don't have enough information to give an educated answer, shut the fuck up.
Say you don't know, or you'll find out.
On that note, similar to a customer, same thing. Got a car that we've had for a very, very long time, 3 months, to the point where we're at the point where Mazda's offered to do a buyback with no fight, just because of what happened.
Yeah.
A local Mazda dealership replaced a couple of not wiring harnesses, but short cords, part of the wiring harness, and they screwed the pooch hard. And this chick has a bad taste in her mouth, and they informed her the same. I know. And they informed her the same thing. It's like, look, this should be covered and blah, blah, blah. And granted, it is, but on the same concept, when she brought it in and they sent out a Mazda engineer, because this is so severe with how this is going on, and looking at it, I tried explaining it to her. I'm like, when they told you this about where this problem is located in the dash, and with her TCU module, which is her telecommunication, and I will make this quick, that I'm like, you have to understand, it's a newer dealership and they're green, so it can cause some miscommunications here. And there is a lot that goes into this. And if there's a pinched wire from the factory or whatever, and she wasn't quite getting it. So bouncing off of what you were saying, where there can be 17, 18, 19, 35 different parts that it could cause the issue, I brought her to my terminal when she came in just to grab some things out of her car, and I opened up my parts catalog, and I showed her the exploded view of her dash and everything that was involved. And I'm like, look at all of these parts that are part of this component for your dash that link and trace back to your TCU. And I'm like, this is page 1 of 5 that it can go to. And of course, then she goes and she realizes, it's like, well, holy crap. And once again, it's like, somebody gave you false information, and I know you're upset, but this is what we have to deal with. And with a dealership that understands this and can really relay this to you the proper way, this is what we have to deal with. When you're pissed off and they make it sound like, oh, it's just this one part, it can't possibly be anything else. You have 14 wiring harnesses running through this, not including all the short cords that split off of this. So it's the same general thing. It's like, and of course, you get the absolute dumpster fire of a pissed off customer who doesn't understand that, and you have to then explain well, there's 40 other things we have to fucking check.
Yeah.
Bottom line of this story is that even though Ford Motor Company isn't going to step up and replace this component that I feel should be covered, and I would love to call Ford and ask them why in the heck would they not cover this thing?
It's an internal component. I just don't understand.
Our company is standing up to take care of this customer because it's a great customer and a personal friend of mine, and I fought tooth and nail to get this done.
Well, that's what your warranty goodwill is for too. If you guys have that type of thing,
this is way over that dollar.
Yeah,
way over that dollar.
I'm assuming it's a full engine assembly.
Long block.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wow, good job, guys.
We're gonna go to break because battery light's flashing. So,
Well, we have to thank our sponsors. We have to thank Travis Ferris from Hit Distributing for supplying us with Justice Brothers products. Thank you,
Nick
Travis.
Lowridge from Matco Tools. Thanks again, buddy.
And Raymond from El Ranchito Taco Shop in Lake Elsinore.
Fucking creamy guac.
Dale
Sorry,
Falk from
Jake.
Twisted Bills LLC. You can check them out on twistedbills.com.
And thanks to all of our VIPs that still send us money and support us.
And buy us our drinks.
Tyler Kotlerick, Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc. Schwanity. I'll
Norman
get it. I'll
Glacier.
get it.
I said that.
And if you want to
I didn't hear
become
Norman Glacier.
and if you want to become a VIP, guys, just hit us up on customerstatespodcast@gmail.com.
We'll be right back.
Mike, what are you eating? That looks amazing.
Oh, this? It's just a delicious Elsinore burrito from El Ranchito Taco Shop.
Is that nacho cheese sauce and hot Cheetos?
Nacho cheese, hot Cheetos, and their mouth-watering carne asada. And I'm dipping it in their creamy guac.
Creamy guac. Yum.
Giggity.
I guess this is a great time to remind everyone that if they're ever in the Inland Empire area, visit Ray at El Ranchito Taco Shop.
Yeah, totally. Check them out on facebook.com/Ranchito Elsinore.
Or on their Instagram at Ranchito Elsinore.
Now I want me some Elsinore burrito and some of that creamy guac.
Giggity.
I can always give you some of my creamy guac, Jake. Just ask.
El Ranchito Taco Shop, Lake Elsinore.
More than just great Mexican food. Oh my gosh. That was of the styling of Bruce Vane, Jake, Eric, Mike, and me, all as a team, as one.
Collectively,
We made it work.
Welcome back, fuckers.
we're black. We're back.
So today was a super interesting day. There were so many things that happened today. It was like,
By the way, this
day
is
went by
Customer States
so-
Podcast. Thanks for sticking with us.
Well,
And
you
thank you to our
already know.
sponsors.
You didn't. Yes, thank you, sponsors.
What if they don't know?
And
Crack
we'd
open.
also like
Crack
to
it.
thank,
Open it. Bust it. Bust it.
thank our beverages.
Are they bussin'?
I guess
Bussin'?
I don't like
They're
that.
bussin'.
Bustin' or discussin'?
That's not a thing,
Bust.
so.
It is a thing.
It is a
Bussin'
thing.
This
I
bussin'
think.
is a thing.
Bussin' or disgustin'?
I already opened.
He already pre-came.
I already came. Sorry, Mikey.
Oh my god, you juiced.
Wow, juiced.
Well, not on the soundboard. Thank
So,
goodness.
for those of you watching the video, I have a pillow in front of my crotch because my pants are torn.
Yep.
If the video makes it this time.
Yeah. Mikey
Yeah,
didn't.
we will post a picture of
Mikey already got
the
one.
impromptu setup that we had to do due
Mm-hmm.
to somebody who will remain unnamed.
It was me.
Everything you're doing is bad, and I want you to know this. I'm sorry, I'm not that screen.
Mikey didn't want me to showing off my vagina to
But-
the world.
It wasn't about that, and
But-
it wasn't about that,
It's
and don't kink
it's
shame me.
a
Hey,
month.
Don't
But-
kink shame me.
that's
But
definitely not
guys,
shaming.
but the good news is it will never happen again because I bought the power adapter for it.
Oh, yes.
Did you just buy it like after
like an
this?
hour ago, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Will it be here before next recording session?
It'll be here tomorrow at 8:00
At my house?
at our house.
Oh, okay.
At our house.
Our house.
Oh,
damn it, Eric.
In the middle of the street.
house. Hashtag something else.
You might ask yourself, how did I get here?
Wrong song.
I know.
But
So
Different band.
I know.
Were you able to afford that power adapter because of Allie's new raise?
Fuck no, I can take care of myself.
Congratulations, my
He's an
dear.
independent woman, so he doesn't need me.
I'm sorry, is that your alligator?
I'm so proud of you. Congratulations.
Yes, so it was.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Eric.
She could have done better.
Thank you. Yeah, but
Bitch.
She's going to be talking to the owner tomorrow. She promised me she would.
so this has been
And
some
she
time
doesn't
in the
break
making,
promises.
and I kind of felt like I was put off over and over and over and over again, and I just kept at it, and that's not really like my thing.
But who told you that should be your thing?
I had my muse, my flame.
Matt and Trey, please
Yeah.
don't. Please don't. come after us.
Is that copyrighted?
No.
Like trademarked?
Well,
TM?
maybe in those
I
specific.
do not own the rights to my muse, my flame. But yes, I got a raise, and it was not as much as
I had hoped for,
wanted, but I also did not get a chance to negotiate.
which she will have a chance tomorrow.
Like I had a meeting about the $6,000 debit today where my manager had to sign off on every single thing. I was like, oh, this one's $55, this one's $64, this one's $1,335.
Until you got to $6,000.
And yeah, there was a stack probably that thick. I'm making like, what? Is this 3 inches?
I don't know. Let's compare. I don't know. Let's compare.
That's not 3 inches. Anyways,
That's about an inch.
and so I had mentioned during the whole thing that, you know, I brought it up again. I brought the topic of increase up just to be, you know, to follow through with it all. And he had mentioned that he had received a pay cut over the past 14 years, that there were people who haven't received raises in 30 years. And
The porters
you
don't
know
count.
what?
How is that my problem?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
sucks. Exactly. But that's not my fucking problem.
That's a YP.
And then he says,
He says,
well, Jake just got an increase, so you guys should be good. And I was like, no.
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 You
That's
know
not
what?
how
If-
this works.
What would happen?
It's not
if,
Jake Alley. It's Jake and then also Alley.
Yeah, if Jake, God forbid, dropped dead tomorrow, I'd be fucked.
We could only be so lucky.
No.
fuck you too,
That would be
Mike.
terrible.
No, I'm just kidding.
But you
Jake,
know,
I don't
like,
wish that on you. I
My
love you.
dad passed away recently. Like I have to, like I
You have to
start
plan
to
for the
plan
future.
for the
Prepare.
future and prepare. Like it's not.
Be
it shouldn't matter.
prepared.
Like would my manager's boss go, oh well, your wife just got a raise, so I don't really think you need one. No, they wouldn't fucking say that.
Yeah, that's
That
a
doesn't
shitty
seem
thing
right.
to say.
and you need to mention this to
Well, my negotiating point. So I got. Should I just say what I got?
Yeah, of course you can.
I got $1.50 raise.
That's bullshit.
And so it just for perspective, if I were to get $1 raise every year
That
for
she's
the
worked
year that
there.
I've been there, I would be making $24 an hour.
And she's making $21.50.
And I think I was making 14 when I started, not 12.
That's a crock of shit.
So I don't know. It was just like he's like, you know, if it was up to me, I'd give you $30 an hour.
To make it happen.
So I just looked him straight in the eye and I said, well, then make it happen. You stole my
I guarantee you,
thunder.
if you come up to him and you tell him, hey, I found another job. This is what they're offering. Can you match it?
Well-
and he says no, then say, all right, I'm taking off.
Well, yeah. And honestly,
Simple
that
as
might
that.
be
That's what I did.
it has to be.
Simple as
And
that.
you know, what I said when we were going through all the stuff, when he was giving away a fuck ton of money, I was like, you know, I have to plan for my future. And, you know, I really hope that future is with this company.
Good.
And
Good girl.
literally, he came upstairs. He talked to the owner, and then he asked my coworker, who has like a common file cabinet that like everyone kind of uses. He's like, I need a pay increase for. And I called Jake and I was like, oh my god, I think it's happening.
I think it's hilarious that you guys have a pay increase form. Like, in a filing cabinet. So archaic.
Yeah.
You have no fucking idea.
Wait, is this the filing cabinet that almost fell over on you?
No, this is a much smaller filing
one.
cabinet.
Okay.
This
But-
is a much smaller filing
But
cabinet.
keep your promise to me and yourself and talk to the owner tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and at the minimum, I'm going to ask for
25.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to say numbers, but whatever.
Okay,
We already said numbers.
but I was gonna ask for the chance for a yearly review.
But you
An
me-
increase.
But you
they
meant
need to fucking do that because he was saying like, oh well, so and so hasn't gotten a raise in 30 years. Well, that person
how-
expects like a fucking $10 raise,
Yeah.
and if you would have given him 50 cents a year, he probably you both wouldn't be in this situation right
Well,
now.
does this other person do do the same thing that I do, or have whatever? I mean, like, how can you compare apples to oranges? So what does it matter how long this person's had a raise for? How is that a valid talking point?
Well, and that's why I
was
told her
telling
when
Jake
she
too.
talks to the owner tomorrow, you mentioned the yearly review at the very end. Because if you start with that, then he goes, okay, perfect, I'll see you in a year. You have to think like an owner.
I ask them every year, and it's up to them to say yes or no. And it shouldn't have to be that. I don't know. It's a mom and pop place. So, but also I wanted a meeting with the owner.
Hey, Kier, get at me.
Never got a meeting with the owner because I would have gotten what I wanted if I had the meeting with him. And he knew that.
Yeah.
I honestly think he knew that. He can say no to my boss. But he is literally the reason why I am working there. He found me from working at the deli. And you have a relationship over the years. It just happens. Yeah. Like he sent me flowers when my dad died. So I truly think that that's why I never got a meeting with him personally. I could be wrong.
It's a crock of shit.
Not fair.
I could be wrong.
Well, I think you're worth $1 million.
Thank you
I
so
know you're
much.
worth
You're
$1 million.
If I had $1 million.
If I
Bare
had
Naked
$1
Ladies.
million.
Nice.
We were binging Bare Naked Ladies over the weekend, over the 4th of July weekend.
For a bunch of Canadians, it's awesome. I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
Hi, Chance. Hey. Apparently, Fonzie was Canadian.
Henry Winkler?
Hey.
The Fonz.
Wah, wah, wah.
So,
Everything you're doing is
to
bad.
clean up that last conversation, Mikey, you have more shit.
Oh, he stood up, you guys. He stood up. He's sitting down.
So I'm not going to mention any dealerships by name, but
We never do.
I have an issue.
Except for when we do.
I have an issue with dealerships that. Let me preface this by saying, Jake and Allie, do you guys have a janitorial staff or a cleanup crew
What the fuck is that?
that comes by and empties out your trash?
No. No.
Yes.
No.
When was the last time you came there and your trash was full?
3 days ago.
Really?
3 days ago, that's it.
Really, Jacob? Okay, well, I need to have a conversation with someone. Go on.
So at most businesses, whether
that
it's
true?
a dealership or a dental office or a hospital or McDonald's, all of the trashes get emptied and surfaces get cleaned, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that happens daily, right?
Yep.
Especially
As far
during a
as I know.
pandemic period.
Should.
Yeah. Well, at this dealership that I'm talking about, they only have janitorial staff 3 days a week in a 7-day period.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So now everybody at that dealership is expected to be,
Their own janitor.
yeah, for the most part, they're trying to find a way to make ends meet and have some of the staff fill
Cut
in.
corners. The term is cut corners.
Cut corners. I'm sorry, I didn't want to go there.
I'm going there.
Trip over $1 to pick up a dime.
And
Is it just because this specific dealer is losing money in sales right now? Because I don't feel like shops are slow. I feel like shops are busier than they used to be.
I don't know the full background behind it because again, I'm not there. But to me, it seems like especially during, well, it's certainly a crock of shit, but like, how can you not have somebody coming in and mopping up the floors? Like, you don't expect the technicians to do that.
Right.
In the stalls.
We definitely don't have people mop our floors.
No, your
Well-
techs are expected to turn hours.
Well, I mean, that's efficiency. I'm not staying half an hour late and half an hour early to come clean up my stalls. Like, somebody is supposed to be doing that. Like, I spot messes and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
like when I
of
come in the
course.
morning, it's supposed to be cleaned. I don't get paid to be the janitor.
But are your porters busy like all the time? Can't someone like do that?
So it's not our dealership.
That's a running joke.
Okay, to the person whose dealership it is.
I expect, because I haven't had the full story yet, but I expect that it's kind of a similar situation. Understaffed. We have that problem everywhere in the country. Again, whether it's Cisco's or what's that? Cisco's, right? Or Red
The
Lobster
Mexican
or whatever.
food chain?
No.
Oh,
what was-
Cisco's like
Oh, you mean like the
It was like a
Supply
diner
company?
thing. No, the diner thing. What was that diner thing that was called? Anyway, doesn't matter.
Denny's?
Yes, Denny's. Doesn't matter.
Yes,
doesn't matter
Denny's.
whether it's Denny's or a hospital. The place should be cleaned and should have appropriate staffing to do that. And so what this person was telling me is that they're having this major issue with having staffing for that process. And I can't understand how you would not be able to have enough money in a company or at a dealership to pay to have someone empty out the trash, like, as a basic thing. All the technicians, we always have trash cans full. We're dumping out quarts of oil, empty oil bottles, cardboard boxes, all this kind of stuff.
Old parts.
Old parts. I mean, how can you not have somebody come through and clean the shop every single day, let alone in a pandemic period, and like sanitizing, which is not being done according to this person. So
Yeah.
it kind of touched close to home because we've had issues with our janitorial staff, right, Eric? I mean, like, you come in and like occasionally like the trash cans will be like, still full. It's like, what, did they not come last night? Like, what's going on?
Or they go in the restroom and they just clean the sink and leave. They don't
Yeah.
clean the toilets. They don't put bleach in the toilets. Nothing. They clean the sink and leave.
Their whole selling point was that, for our dealership, was that, they had a Zamboni machine, a Zamboni type machine that came out and cleaned the stalls better than they've ever been cleaned before. But they need to have all the lifts, lifted up in the air so the little Zamboni type machine could go
Okay.
underneath it. And we did that.
Did that. They didn't. They did it once, I think.
Yeah, I mean, literally once or
That's
twice.
what happens,
and
though, when
they
you
left
get-
better. They left bigger messes than what they started with, because instead of like cleaning everything, then it was just like puddles of solvent and oil in the low depressions of the floor that they didn't bother to get afterwards. I mean, so I can sympathize with this listener that wrote in about this subject. but
Maybe we need to have a side hustle of cleaning.
janitorial stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, I have too many things going on already.
Fair.
Anyways, let's talk about people who think they know everything.
ooh,
That's my favorite subject.
this
Who
is
know
When the
and they
customers,
think they know.
I'm a mechanic.
this is
I've been wrenching on cars since
My
I
father
was
owned a
5 years
dealership
old.
in the 60s.
I used to work at this dealership.
so this is
Fuck yourself.
So this is what happened to me actually today. Believe it or not, I had two customers that I can base both sides off of. So I had a guy call me, never seen the car. So, start off great. No, guy seems super nice, super knowledgeable. And he goes, I'm having the car towed into you. I'm having starting issues. I don't think it's the battery. AAA tested it and they say that it's the alternator in the charging system. And then he goes, but AAA doesn't know fucking jack from shit. So I'm just going to leave it up to you guys. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I like you already, buddy. So I get to talking to him a bit and I'm like, do you, in a nicer, more professional way, I'm like, do you know much about cars or do you understand cars much? And, he goes, I've been working on cars my whole entire life. He's like, I'm definitely not what you would call a mechanic or a technician, but, I know my way around.
Savvy.
Yeah, exactly. I know my way around a car and a wrench if I really need to. And I go, okay, fair enough. And I'm like, in your outlook on everything, would you feel that it is the alternator? And he goes, well, to an extent, and he starts going into it's like, when I start the car, I've got to jump it, but when I do jump it, the lights are dimming real bad, like there's no charge going back to the battery, and it's running strictly on, auxiliary power and a few things. I'm like, well, you're pretty right. I'm like, you're saying a lot of stuff that really lines up with that. So the car comes in and we test it, and sure enough, the tech reads the story. Customer states vehicle has to be jumped, blah blah blah, lights flashing.
Customer states.
Yeah.
Hey, that's us, you guys.
And I tell the tech, and he goes, "Oh, a self-diagnoser." I'm like, "No, not this one, man." He word for word, pretty much verbatim, said, "I'm going to leave it up to your techs." And I'm like, I'm the exact same thing. I'm like, I'd have to agree with him. It does seem like it is just running off of battery power, but you let me know. And sure as shit, we plug it up to the DCA 8000 or whatever the hell it is. And
The GRX, whatever motherfucker.
Flux capacitor.
the
Yes.
flux capacitor. And we test it, and under load, the alternator's throwing back like 9 volts.
No.
And the
No.
and the not under load, it's throwing back like 10-ish. So
For those of you who don't know, alternators should be sending back about 14 to 14 and a half volts.
So it's definitely turns out to be the alternator. The battery's fucking shot
Yeah.
because it's just
can't
been
keep up with that.
Exactly. It's just been absolutely destroyed. And it also ends up that the drive belts are cracked to shit. They're almost falling apart, and the tensioner's leaking like a sieve. So call the customer and, tell them, hey, you were dead on. And for once, AAA was too. And
Wow.
This one time.
Let's mark this down in the calendar,
and I tell them, it's like, look, you need an alternator, you need a battery, you need a serpentine tensioner, and both of your drive belts. And he goes, perfect, let's do it all. Without batting an eye, just do it all. I want my car working again. And he's like, I trust you guys, and you've been super respectful, and let's just do it. So, big repair. I mean, the alternator job itself is like
about
$800.
Yeah, alternators are fucking expensive.
So we do that. So awesome, easy peasy. Parts will be here tomorrow. We'll fix the dude's car. He'll take it. He'll leave. Fantastic. And then you have the other side of the coin from customer who does know, and then we've got a customer who thinks he knows. Very end of the day, last appointment, late drop off, and go figure he wants a loaner. So he drives a Miata, number one. So exactly. So the collective laughs.
We love those.
If you know, you know.
Yeah,
YK or whatever.
something like that.
Yeah, if you know, you know. So he comes in, and it's a 2022, and it has like just barely over 5K mileage. And he starts off, I open up because it's the last appointment, I know who it's going to be. I open up the appointment, and one of the 3 concerns is vehicle shakes at idle. And I'm like, okay.
Okie dokie.
And then the next one is when convertible soft top is down, there is a rattle noise that can be heard from behind my head. And I'm like, okay. And then the third one was customer states that once,
Hashtags on the bow.
and customer states that once when turning left, the customer heard a clicking noise coming from front end of vehicle. So I'm like, okay, well, this is already going to start off great. So the guy comes in, and he is actually getting written up by the new guy. And I'm helping him, telling him, make sure it's coded warranty, write the story like this, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy proceeds to go, and I'm sorry, and also the one other thing, the seat also creaks when making turns.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's a major problem. We have to get right on that.
right. So also a little bit of backstory if you
But
don't.
only every other Tuesday when I'm on the way back from,
This
AA
one
or
particular
whatever.
drive.
Yoga.
This sounds like a problem that Eric would complain about with his vehicle.
There was only 3 lines on the Lexus.
Eric has had
him.
more technician dicks
Yes.
in his fucking car than he has in his
Life.
yes.
Like that Mazda that I rented on my trip.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I verified that the seats do squeak against the center console. That's
Yes,
the
they
thing.
do.
It's really fucking annoying.
It is annoying.
That's terrible.
It is annoying. They squeak against the center console.
Oh my god.
At least you
We
and
had
Debbie-
talked about that in a previous episode that another customer was
That's the
complaining about
Debbie.
it.
That was
No.
Debbie's concern.
Yeah, you and Debbie can commiserate.
Wait a minute. I thought that was a different customer.
No,
that
Debbie
was,
had
was that
multiple
Debbie?
concerns.
Yeah.
Okay, either
Just
way.
like Eric.
Debbie.
Eric is a Debbie.
So
I can be.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'd rather be a Debbie than a Karen.
I love Eric.
Okay. A Debbie is a different level than a Karen, I
it
think.
is. So a little backstory on the Miatas. If you don't know about these cars, they are literally shit boxes on rubber. So
And super tiny.
It's a Miata. I mean, Mazda.
Yeah, and everybody
Cute.
loves them for whatever god awful reason. Because if you can't afford a Corvette like a real midlife crisis-er, you go for a Miata. So
MX-5.
yeah, I'm sorry. Now it's an
MX-5.
MX-5. Whatever. So about these cars is number one, they are built on a very small frame and a stiff frame because they are,
How stiff?
geared towards. Yeah, wouldn't you
Rock
like to know?
hard.
They are geared towards being an everyday consumer roadster for the right price. So when the guy comes in and my partner next to me is outside grabbing information on the vehicle, I start asking the guy some questions, and I'm all like, "What exactly do you mean by the car shakes at idle?" And he's like, "Well, it just feels like it moves a lot at idle." And I go, "You do realize this is a tiny car that is a roadster and they all shake?" And he's like, "Well, that can't be. It's like not all cars shake." I'm like, "Well, you're right.
These
but
ones do."
These ones do." And he's like, "Well, on the forums," and right there I lose all respect
That's where you
for
go,
you. That's
stop.
All respect.
Screech to a halt.
All
Yeah.
respect out the window. And I go, realistically, man, it's like the engines are noisy, they shake a lot, it's a light vehicle, it's just kind of how it is.
You bought a sports car. You bought a performance roadster.
It's not a $100,000 S class.
It's not
Mercedes.
a Cadillac
Right.
on
Yeah.
airbag suspension,
Right.
just
And-
calm down.
Right, and so that's the first one, thinking he knows what he's talking about. And then we move on to the next one where the soft top is down, and he's like, "Well, I hear noise behind me." And I'm all like, "Yeah, man, you're no longer in an enclosed cabin. You're going to hear things." And he's like,
Jesus.
Sorry.
Have you ever opened a window on an airplane?
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, you haven't? Yeah,
Well, yeah, no shit. And I go, you're gonna hear noises. He's like, "No, it's like a creak or a rattle from behind me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like, there's a lot going on back there." I'm like, "You've got wind noise and you've got exhaust and you might have things rolling around in your trunk and there's a bunch of stuff." And he's like, "No, that can't be." He's all like, a car shouldn't make any noise at 5,000 miles."
Fuck you.
And I'm like, "Okay."
Car has to make noise to run. I'm sorry. There's some noise.
And then I ask him about his seat, and I'm like, "Okay, well,
Vehicle.
what do you mean? Like the noise, catch me up to speed." And he's like, "Well, when I'm turning, when I'm kind of shifting in my seat, it makes some noise." And I'm like, "They are solid plastic, like Sparco bucket racing seats, man." I'm like, they're not cushy. They're meant to, keep you in place." And he's like, "Well, when I'm turning," and I go, "How fast are you turning when you hear this?" And he's like, "Well, I like to corner really tight. It is a roadster, like you said." And I'm like, "Okay, well, the seat might creak or move a little bit if you're taking turns like fucking Dale Earnhardt."
Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Earl Dale Hart.
Earl Dale. Yeah, exactly.
No, Dale Fall, you mispronounced his name.
Oh, gotcha.
And then finally, we get to the final where I'm like, "Okay, so you say that you heard a clicking noise while turning." And I'm like, "Okay, Okay, so you say that you... What?
There's an echo.
Am I having a stroke?"
Yeah, I think you are.
Oh, that was weird. I'm
How did
tripping
that
balls.
happen?
My
Doesn't
camera.
matter.
Oh.
So, and I go, "It says here on the line that this happened to you once." One time. And I'm like, "Has it really only happened one time?" And he's like, "Yeah, once. And it was like a week after driving it, but it's never happened again. But you guys will look into it for me, right?" I'm like,
No.
I'm like, well, I'm like, you realize, I tried to explain to him warranty terms here. I'm like, you realize we have to duplicate something before my technicians just start tearing apart your vehicle. And he goes, well, that's not how warranty works. I'm like, oh, really now,
Tell
buddy?
me how to do my job.
Oh, really now,
so
buddy?
he does warranty now too.
Right. I'm like, oh, really? And I go, if it has happened once, I'm just going to be straightforward with you. It is not going to happen again for us. And there's not going to be anything that we can do about it. And he goes, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, and of course, to keep the peace, you tell them my technicians will listen for it while they were on the test drive. If it is duplicated, we will then let you know. But besides that, I can't just have my techs pulling apart your car. It's not how it works. And of course, it's a humph and a haw and a who and all that crap.
Yeah.
And then Kyle, my new guy that's next to me, it's fine. It's totally fine.
I like to call him Kyle.
Cow.
And
Oh, hey, Kyle.
check my bear, kid.
Take my boss.
And he gets back in and he starts writing up the guy. And I have to write up his loan car agreement because he doesn't have access to the loan car portal yet just because he's new. And I'm like, I'll need your license. And he hands me his license, and he's not even from California. He is down here for a summer job, and he has just decided that we got the shit card drawn, and he decided to give our dealership a visit to deal with all of his problems. Oh my God. So besides the, well, that doesn't make sense, and that's not how warranty
Man, nothing
works.
is
And
fun here.
Go back to where you came from.
and I heard it on the, on the forums, and, well, my buddy's sister's cousin's dog, told me that this isn't normal of the Miatas. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. Be alternator guy. Don't be Miata guy. We'll be more inclined to help you and stick our necks out for you instead of when you come at me super hot.
Right.
So, it's just all that fun shit. What does make it easier is having comfortable shoes, though.
Yes.
That was a shitty transition.
Well, it is nice to be comfortable. I mean,
I need new ones.
do you?
I need new insoles.
What do you wear?
I need new insoles. I have
Chocolates.
Well, no.
Right now, he's wearing chanclas.
Right now, I'm wearing slides.
Well, that's a kind of chancla.
No.
It's
There's a whole
specific-
debate about this. That is a chancla.
Okay.
If it splits the
A
toe,
thong.
It's a thong. Yes.
if it splits the toe,
A
it's a
flip-flop.
chancla.
Yeah. No, these are slides.
Flippity floppity.
But
I mean, that would probably
don't
hurt
know.
more if your mom threw that at you rather than the one I'm wearing. You can throw it at me later. We'll see.
I don't know what my brand of boots are, but I have custom insoles made from my podiatrist.
Oh, okay.
They took a form of my feet and all that jazz. Do you know how much my insoles cost?
Couple $100.
$1,000.
Very close.
Oh, did I go over or under?
No, under.
$1,237.
They were $850 insoles for my boots.
Wow.
$850 insoles. Insurance does not cover that, by the way.
No, it does not.
It
Because
should.
I have plantar fasciitis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so I have to have
That
those custom
sucks.
insoles. And I think I'm getting to the end of their life, which is
Plantar
supposed to be a
fasciitis
year.
is when you have like but it's
Google
not
it.
bone spurs, but it's like your feet hurt a lot.
The tendon in the bottom of your foot stays tight and won't release. So it causes great pain, especially in the morning to walk.
Everyone needs a release.
It's awful.
This was also a conversation on the Facebook group, Life at a Car Dealership, where they were talking about people who are on their feet a bunch. This was more of a salesperson directed question, and who gives a shit about those guys anyways? They were talking about, what's easiest to be on your feet with. And there was realistically a few for technicians of, I can't even remember the name, but it was mainly dress shoes. What is the most comfortable dress shoe? And it's like, I went through and I'm like, my God, there's a lot of different fucking options.
Oh, yeah.
Those dress shoes that I bought you are like really, what are they, like floor shines?
Floor shine. And they are
Floor-shine.
very comfortable dress shoes. They have great insoles.
He doesn't like them because they're brown.
I don't like brown dress shoes.
I think they
that's
look nice.
don't like.
Depends on what you're wearing.
It does.
Well, I'm not. That's why black is the best option because
But
goes
black
with
is
everything.
so boring. Like you're not
Oh
going
my
to
God.
a
It's
funeral.
It's classy.
Unless you are.
See, the problem is with brown shoes is they go good with a gray suit or a navy blue suit or
Yes,
a
yes.
burgundy suit.
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't own any of those
You
colors.
have, okay. We'll talk about this later.
See, Eric, you should be proud of me. I'm real good with matching shoes
I am
with my outfits.
not bad.
Customer States podcast.
Let's get them shoes.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Speaking
god.
of Eric,
Oh, I know.
Dressing tips.
He is beautiful
he is beautiful.
and sexy
Stop.
and smart.
Okay, tell me more.
And you should,
amazing. And
Allie,
you're
you should have been there when he busted that nut for me. Oh, it was
Excuse
great.
me?
I loved busting my nut
I don't
with
know
you.
if I want to
know.
be present for
Oh,
that.
it was so good. We got to bust a nut together.
We did.
guys.
We helped each other bust a
Oh,
nut.
I saw the busted. You guys,
She
I
did see the
saw
busted, nut. She saw
I saw it. It was so maple.
the aftermath. She saw the aftermath of the busted nut.
She did.
Yeah,
it was
so
just.
it
in
was
case you
fucking
haven't figured
fantastic.
out what's going on
Clean
here,
this up a little bit, like soon.
no, get your fucking mind out of the
Yeah,
gutter,
Michael.
Fucking
Michael.
sicko.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It was it was for the exhaust. It was one of the exhaust nuts, and we had to use we had to use the impact drill or impact hammer, excuse me, and all types of stuff. And it was probably close to a 45-minute hour battle.
I
Is this
had
on the
to,
Yukon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was on the Yukon.
I had to.
Hi, Mama.
I had to air hammer off a exhaust nut from the cat.
He had to pneumatic beat it
Yeah.
off.
And I beat it off until it came
Off.
off. Yeah. It came.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you for
seriously, thank
working
you.
on
And
You're very
our
welcome.
mom's car.
my mom is going to buy. She wanted me to tell you thank you, seriously, to her second favorite son.
Oh.
And she said she's going to make you cheesecake and buy you alcohol and all types of fun things.
I love cheesecake.
I love alcohol.
By the way, do you want the New York style or strawberry?
I don't know the difference.
One has
One is with
strawberry
no
and one
fruit.
doesn't.
It's just the white topping.
Oh no, I want fruit.
Okay,
I want
I-
like blueberries or
You do seem
strawberry
pretty
or
fruity.
peaches or something. Extremely gay.
So fucking gay.
Hashtag tell them about.
But thank you, Eric.
You're very
And
welcome.
when
Happy to help.
Well, actually, no, Allie wasn't there to see this, but when I was over yesterday visiting my parents, the driveway is clean for the first time in years.
No oil.
For those of you wondering, Jake's mom hired me to fix her oil leaks and a laundry list of other things
Yes.
on her 2003 Yukon with 220,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was
223,000 miles young.
yeah. Well, it's a great truck and it just needed a little love. And
Needs some TLC.
it after about 2 days worth of work spread over a couple weeks, it was done.
And it's perfect.
Yeah, she should be groovy.
Yep, and I need to get that clock spring from
Yeah,
her.
we do need to do that.
And we heard the keys.
Hey, Jake.
And before we send
Nice
out,
clock.
nice
Spring.
clock.
I love your clock.
And we have to thank Anthony Miller.
So we had
is it?
so Anthony Miller is a listener. He's been a listener from
you,
a
Anthony.
silent listener. You know, a lot of our listeners text in and write into us, and you know we send out business cards and stickers for them and stuff like that. But he went above and beyond. Apparently, he's been listening from the beginning, but because he never spoke out until now,
I'm actually talking to him right now.
Yeah, he sent us a set. So last episode we talked about earbuds
Right, and the safety of
and the
not hearing.
safety issue and things like that. And apparently he's a nurse, and he had wanted to tell us about how there's this different system out there that isn't like an in-ear thing, or what really shocked me more than like Andrew eating 2 Pop-Tarts stacked together.
No, that's so wrong.
Or
That's
my
like
service
eating the Kit
manager
Kat.
eating, biting into a cheese stick.
stick,
Yeah.
ugh.
So,
Sorry. Okay.
and your technician wearing the headphones.
Right.
Okay. So he
Hi, Jeff.
sent a package to my dealership, which I still have to ask him how he found out where I work.
Mike Shop Foreskin.
But yes, it said
Google.
it said Foreskin Mike on the package.
That's fucking hilarious.
Did it?
Yes. And the service manager comes up to me and says, "Hey, are you Foreskin Mike?"
I love it.
And they're those bone induction headphones.
What?
So the bone that sits right
the
here.
package is over there.
Right.
I don't know how it works. I haven't opened
The
it up
bone
yet.
that sits right here, it sends vibrations
orbital
through
bone?
the bone, and
That's
you
your
can,
eye,
and
I
you
guess.
can hear it, but it's all through
I don't
induction vibration.
I don't think that's how
Really?
it works. I don't know. I haven't
is.
looked into it.
It is.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
Okay.
No, I'm not making that up. It is
You're
100%.
wrong. How dare you?
Oh my
Wrong.
gosh,
Wrong.
thank you so
Wrong.
much,
No.
And they came from China.
Anthony.
Well, so the thing is that I want to try these out between all of us.
He's a nurse?
Well, he's from the automotive industry.
Oh, I was
But
like,
he's a
why
nurse.
does he like? Thank you, but like,
Whoa.
why?
Well, he's from the automotive industry. I don't want to like get too
Yeah,
much
yeah,
into
yeah.
it, but you know,
He's a nurse.
He has a friend who recommended it to him.
Hello, nurse.
he has a and you know who you are.
Yes, master.
Stop. Okay.
Grossed out a little.
Anyway, so we did hear the outro or the key jingle.
Yes.
So you know what that means.
Jingle my jangle. Thank you again to all of our sponsors for helping us keep the lights on.
Yes. And
Thank you.
sorry.
Well, to all of our listeners, especially the ones who donate to our drinking habits.
Are very important peoples.
Yes.
Remember, guys, we really, really want to hear from you. So if you have any crazy things that come up, not so crazy, we want to hear about them.
Yes,
Let us
please
know.
reach out.
Hey,
We love hearing
Aaron,
from
where
you
are
guys.
you?
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, we haven't heard from you in a little while.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing okay,
hope
bud.
you're doing okay.
Or if you have somebody that you want to call out, it's like, hit up one of your friends, tell them to talk to us. Or if you want us to contact them and give them shit, we'll do that.
This is true too.
Oh, we will for sure do
And
that.
just remember, for pennies
I will
a day,
send them a red sheet.
In the arms
for
of
pennies a day, you can support your local Customer States podcast drinking habit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But Nick Lowridge, thank you. Ray Moon, thank you. Travis Ferris, thank you.
Norman Glazier.
Norman
You can follow
Glazier.
him at Max Norm with 2 X's.
3.
3 X's, triple freaking
I thought it was
X's.
2.
I thought it was 2 as well. It's 2.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We
Not a
made,
triple X.
we made the softcore porn joke.
Yeah.
2 X's.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, 2 X's.
Yep. And also Bruce Vane for the sweet tune.
Booth Vine.
And we did thank Dale, right?
We did thank
We
Dale.
thanked Dale before, but we're thanking him again now. And don't forget to follow us on all the social medias, customer underscore states.
Well, we were talking about cores before.
Yeah, so it's on my mind.
Either way, we'll keep this simple. Go back and listen to all the episodes. You'll hear all of our social medias. You can find us
Every
where
single episode.
every
The
single
ones we
episode.
cover on all of them.
But we will see you guys next time. You're all my favorite fuckers. And
We
with
love
that,
you.
we say,
Oh, you stole it from me. Oh my God.
We say,
I quit.
I quit.
Love you.
Oh my God.
Bye, guys.
Hi, this is Mike Sarah from Customer States. Matco Tools is one of the best tool companies in the industry, and Nick Lowridge is one of the best Matco tool distributors. Nick can get me anything I need for the shop or for at home. From oil drain pans to beef jerky, Nick's got what I need on tap. Nick works in the Thousand Oaks, California area, and you too can get whatever you need by calling him at 805-796-7323. And if you're not in that area, call him anyway and tell him you heard about him from the Customer States podcast. And then you can hop on to matcotools.com and find a Matco Tools distributor near you. Matco Tools. Service, trust, results.